Let's talk gaming and let's understand that how essentially the new gaming laws are going to be changing things for the entire gaming sector per se. This is joins us now, founder and CEO with Nazara Technologies. This is good morning. Thank you for joining us. What's your
Good morning.
understanding of the new legal framework provided by the new rules? I mean, will this change anything for investors, at least in the online gaming industry? Is the definition between skill and chance now really clearly outlined?
Yes, absolutely. I think what Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar released last week under Meity is actually a game-changing, policy for the industry. I think two things have happened, right? One is, the government has recognized gaming formally as an industry and started giving guidance around it on how it has to operate. And I think that's a long way that the industry has come over the 2 decades that at least Nazara has been in business. So I think we are very excited about that. The second thing is the skill-based real money gaming space, right, has been the most monetized segment of the industry. But it has been surrounded over the years with a lot of gray area and unclarity on what is legal, what is not legal, what is a game of skill, what is gambling, how is taxation to be applied, etc. And this has prevented at least companies like ourselves to very aggressively invest in these gray areas. I think that is very rapidly changing. And the regulatory clarity that we have been asking for since many years is very fast emerging. In this budget, you had clarity on online TDS, which has come through, including the recent amendments. You have Meity's gaming guidelines come through. I think the last cog in this wheel is the GST. And once that is also clear, I think the whole skill-based real money gaming space is ripe to take off. And Nazara is also going to make very aggressive moves in this space now that this clarity is emerging. So I think all around good news for the industry.
Speaking of GST, I just wanted to understand from you because the online gaming rate is likely to remain at about 18% on gross gaming revenues. What would be the implications of this? Because that would be the same that it currently is, right?
Yeah, I think if that comes through, it will be the best news for the industry, right? But I think the more important news really is about the clarity emerging. It's dragged on for a long time. And now the sooner the GST part is also plugged in, I think you will have a holistic clarity on skill-based real money gaming in India. And that will allow for a lot of growth in this industry.
Skill-based real money gaming. And, I know we've asked you this time and again, but for your company, it's a very small component, right? So what is it that you would like to hear in terms of the clarity on this, and what would be the implications on your overall revenue pie on real
Yeah.
money?
I think, like I just said, right, a lot of the clarity has emerged. The GST part is the final cog in the wheel. And from a Nazara perspective, we have been sitting on the fence. We have 5% of our revenues that come from skill-based real money gaming through open play that we run. But that's a fantastic consolidation vehicle. And as we've always stated, that as clarity emerges, we will very aggressively invest in this sector. And this will allow us for very fast scale up of revenues in the years to come. So I think at least at Nazara level, we are now very actively working on a larger blueprint for the real money gaming space. And you will surely hear, more exciting news from our end on this space in the coming months.
Nitish, also wanted to understand, this 30% TDS on net winnings from online gaming in the user account. How does that impact you? And would it really move things?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't again impact us much given our exposure to RMG today. But I think it's a short-term hiccup for users to get used to the new policy. I think the new policy is fairly fair. There was some ambiguity which these recent amendments kind of also clarified. So I think it's a path in the right direction because it was more important to get the clarity, and I think that clarity has been achieved.
Okay. Do you see after the clarity this entire skill-based gaming ecosystem uh, becoming big? There was this great start, but then policy confusion. Post policy clarity, enough and more do you think will normalize for this entire space?
Yes, I think you will see a large spurt in growth. You will see a lot more investor interest, and the good news is that a lot of these guidelines and policies will also really help protect consumers, which is very important for the long-term sustainability of the business. And the last thing is that all the gray market operators, all the international betting companies, etc., who have been having a field day in India, operating without any restrictions, will face a lot of challenges operating further once these policies firmly come into place. Which also means that the share of the wallet that they were eating into of the consumers will get freed up for more responsible gaming companies to work towards and get better ARPUs.
The outlook, then just a quick word on your overall margins, because you've been saying that you're looking at expansion very aggressively. Is there anything on the cards right now, and where does that take your overall margin picture?
Yeah, our we're right now on track to meet our margins as we have guided earlier for this year, and the company has grown very well. In the first 9 months, Nazara has grown 80% in revenues. So we're very happy with the balance of fast revenue growth, remaining profitable, and generating positive cash flows. I think that's the right way to approach. And FY24, we will continue to do that. We are seeing large opportunities in front of us, like we just spoke on the skill-based real money gaming, as well as the casual gaming side. So we're also looking at attractive acquisitions that we will do in this year in both these segments to scale our business as well as potentially our margins further.
The general view is that the startup funding has dried up. A lot of innovation in the gaming space will not really multiply or will not scale up. Indirectly, are you happy with that? Because that means existing company like yours who got cash on the books will be able to acquire and will be able to grow.
Yes, I mean, I think it's a fantastic opportunity for Nazara to, invest in the right founders and the right companies and acquire at a fair value, I would say, right? So clearly, it is the current market sentiment is actually a very good opportunity for us. But I think even if you zoom out a bit, India is on a trajectory of growth on gaming, which is, these short-term turbulences of market sentiments and all may just pause it for a little time or slow it down for a little time. But I think the long-term growth, if you were to zoom out, let's say a 5-year view, right? I think you're on a very strong trajectory, which will eventually reach where India has a potential to become a gaming nation of the world.
5 years out, if you have to, let's say, talk about Nazara per se, how much
Yes.
of the forecasted growth will come because of the existing business, that is organic growth, and how much could come from inorganic growth? Because you've also been growing by acquiring.
Yes. If you look at our businesses over the last 3-4 years, every business that we have acquired thereafter has grown very well organically. So we are very clear about it that the real value creation does not happen through new acquisitions adding revenue, but those new acquisitions starting to deliver very strong organic growth. And we focus very much on those businesses. The way as we enter FY24, we see all our businesses having strong growth trajectories. So organic growth will continue to be very healthy. And we will also additionally acquire new businesses that can kick in faster and more organic growth in the years to come. So that's how we're thinking. I think a lot of our focus is on organic growth of existing businesses as well as new businesses that we acquire.
To go on that note, thanks so much, Nitish, as always, for joining in and giving us a little more clarity as to what these moves could mean for the online gaming sector. That's 541 on Nazara Tech.